Hey folks, it's Mark here from the Digital Nexus podcast. Welcome back to episode 20. This is the first episode that we have for 2025, and it's a really exciting year ahead. You might have heard the saying that it's going to be the year of AI agents, and it's kind of true. There's going to be a lot more that we'll be seeing in the space. Again, we'll cover the news, the views, the insights, the technical kind of products and showcases, and all that fun stuff that Chris and I will show you. This first episode for the year, unfortunately, Chris will not be with me. He's still sick, but he is helping out with the editing and all that for this. But we will be back in the studios. We've been doing this at Stone and Chalk, and we'll do some more episodes there, as well as potentially some other places. So check out this episode. There's a whole lot of news and updates in it, and I will talk to you soon.
Woke up, tech talk. News flash, AI rolling in future in a dash. Digital dreams, cold and safe. We got the vision, never out of sync. Circuit board buzzing, world of wire. Tech trends blazing, digital fire.
So first things first, let's get to basically the things that we want you guys to take a look at. If you have not seen it already, we've got our Digital Nexus podcast that you can see here. There's a website for it. 19 episodes. We really tried hard to get it onto episode 20 by the year's end, but this will be episode 20 that you get to check out. So yeah, there's a whole heap of stuff recapping what was going on during the week that was in AI. So there's 20 weeks of this kind of stuff on the podcast. You've also got the YouTube channel as well, and so you can actually watch it live. So let's take a look quickly at one of those. Let's see what's going on. Oh yeah, I was talking about ETFtracker here. That's been built out a little bit further thanks to AI. It's probably still loading and stuff there. Here, simple. What was that? Something for superannuation. Then we get
into the text prompt.
Various tools we're trying out, things we're seeing in the news and our opinions. All of that kind of stuff is on this show. We film it at Stone and Chalk, so shout outs to those guys because we wouldn't have the awesome space that we have there without them. So definitely check out the YouTube as well. So apart from that, let's see what else was interesting this time around. So this week, over the last couple of days, some stuff that we've seen. I think the big one was this announcement here from OpenAI. They talked about having scheduled tasks in ChatGPT. So if you want to set reminders and to-do type lists, that's now a feature just within the app. So they're coming out with some really great stuff. You can go to tasks. It's in beta format at the moment, so that there is potentially some bugs, things that they need to still figure out, and potentially some limited access. But you've got this ability to do things like here, summarize the AI news every week. That's probably something that we're going to take a look at over here. Practice French with me, etc., etc. A reminder for your parents' birthday. Just all of these nice and interesting things just to keep you there in the app. So really great stuff. Can't wait to try that one out. And then there was another announcement here from Microsoft. So they announced that they're going to have CoPilot Chat for their businesses that are using CoPilot to boost more of the AI adoption. Definitely been a bit of a mixed bag that we've heard. So there's some great results from some people, and then some others we hear are not using it as much. So like anything, like the early internet, all of this kind of stuff just takes time to adopt. So we're definitely going to see some really interesting stuff out there, especially from Microsoft. They've got, the great stuff with Azure. We use a lot of that kind of stuff with Psych, the AI app that we built for privacy and just for workflows. So yeah, I have no doubt that they're going to do really well with this kind of stuff. So definitely worth checking that one out too. And then another thing that I wanted to highlight is you'll see here something called a ReCircuit. So when that page loads, so let's try that one again. Okay, here we go. So ReCircuit, now given the background that I've got working in blockchain and AI, Chris helps out with the Australian DeFi Association. So we've got both of those kinds of communities. We've done stuff with the Data Science and AI Association of Australia, done stuff with Build Club as well, and the great work that Annie Liao is doing there, growing the community of developers and builds and now focusing on education. There is this great convergence with AI and blockchain. And what I mean by that is that there is this need that people are starting to see more and more that blockchain can do to provide help to secure the AI space. And if you think about having things like AI agents out there roaming, but with no rules and laws that they abide by, and no ability to view and see whether the transactions that they're doing, and I'm not just talking about money, transactions in the sense of information as well. If there's no way to see just what it is they're doing, to audit them, to be able to vote on what it is that they're supposed to do and ensure that they are doing things in accordance to the law, then it's going to be a real Wild West out there. So it's ironic, but blockchain can actually help there. And I say ironic because a lot of people think of blockchain and cryptocurrency as the same kind of thing. They're seeing all the hype going around the prices with AI agents, and that's certainly not only the case. I think it's great that it gets the attention and potentially a lot of money going into this space, but now we actually get to use it for something worthwhile. So you'll learn more about ReCircuit over time, but it is here to help the AI agent space. So some things that you'll see on the homepage here when this gets launched. It will have been launched by the time you see this. It's launching on Friday, but you can see here more about what it is we're trying to do with the ReCircuit community. So fostering innovation, uniting these different communities together across blockchain and AI, and then also supporting open source and community growth, as you can see here. There's things on this page. We've got a global AI agents hackathon that we're planning. So we're just getting members together for that. We're going to be working with other associations and different parties to help us out there. There's also this AI survey, and what we're trying to do there is gather information. You can fill in information if you want there. That is totally optional. The key things are that we want people to be able to share what they're feeling and what they're thinking when it comes to artificial intelligence, AI, etc. So you can put in how you're feeling here, confirm your answers. How often do you interact with it? Weekly, daily? Definitely me, it's daily, hourly, all the time. You can see, have you used any kind of AI agents for work or personal projects? So most people would probably be in no, but interested. And so as you go through and fill in this information that's here, what's going to happen is that we'll collect all of that information, aggregate it, and we'll share the results with some interactive charts on here. So it'll be updated in real time with all that information flowing through to some analysis that we'll do. So there's going to be some really cool stuff that you'll get to see once more people are filling out this information. Other stuff that you've got here, so like I said, this is all about agents. So you can learn about agents. We've got this 101, so you can get an intro. You've got the anatomy, building AI agents. As you click on each of these, there's just some really basic high-level kind of concepts that you can click through just to learn, track your progress, etc. There's no logging in for this one just yet. I debated doing that. I want to make a lot of stuff just really available. So there's no like tracking your own kind of progress and building up a profile there just yet. But if I see the numbers going up, then we'll definitely do that. And just a reminder, a lot of this stuff is built with AI. So we're using Bolt. I know that there's other great tools out there like Lovable and whatnot. And if anyone wants to get us to show you how Bolt is used, we might do a video on that. So you can go through the learning. There is a best practices kind of guide now that there's been more info coming out about this, now that we've been building our own kind of stuff as well. There's going to be some great stuff that we'll be able to share. So things like an intro, definitions and evolution, whether you need AI agents or not is important. Design patterns, modularization, I'll get that word right, execution strategy, and much, much more. So definitely look out for that best practices guide that we'll have. There is also going to be, coming soon, an interactive demo. So you don't have to be, and this is the great thing about AI, you don't have to be super technical just to be able to get access to this sort of stuff. So we will have a way that you can click a button here and experience your own version of AI agents. And if that sparks curiosity, wanting to do more of that kind of stuff personally or for your business, then hopefully that leads to some good outcomes there. So definitely 2025 is the year of the agent. We've also got media. So we'll be putting in news articles and highlighting and summarizing interesting ones that are there. So you can see this, you can click to read the original article as well. And then basically you've got a highlight of different articles here that we think are important in the space. There's also videos. So there was just this one that just came out, and this was on an AI agent showcase where basically it's not in detail exactly how it would do it, but if you were to do nefarious things, this is what someone might do. And this is the very reason why we want to call out and showcase that there's this need for having rules when it comes to AI agents. So Murder for hire. Getting an agent connected to the dark web is one thing. So definitely be on the lookout for, just ways to protect against that sort of stuff. So there's more and more of a need for blockchain to help secure things. There's this first take look at AI agents with Microsoft doing their London tour, the complete truth. So this is a full overview of AI agents, a spotlight on Agents AI, which was created out of HubSpot. So yeah, really some great things there. Elsewhere in the media, we've also got this blog. And so this is the first article. There will be more. This is all about the AI agent revolution, the disruption that we see coming, how you can get involved in this space and more. So just keep an eye out for that one as well. And then in other resources, we highlight the different communities across blockchain and AI that you need to get involved in if you are interested in this sort of intersection. Like I said, blockchain is there for the security. AI is there definitely for the smarts and the automation. Blockchain has some automation as well, so really interesting stuff. There's also, let's go to the communities. You can see some of the groups here, and we'll go into a little bit more of that later. You've also got here the different AI agent tools. So there's the open source type tools that are out there. You've also got some enterprise tools as well. And so that is there. And then ReCircuit itself, the reason we built this community is because there is a need for this kind of stuff, as I have mentioned, and we're building that platform. So you can read more about the white paper there, and then a little bit more about ReCircuit here. So that's one of the groups. So that's security of the transactions. There's a group that we're involved with as well. It's called ASIMOV Protocol, and I'll just let this load. You can follow them on Twitter. ReCircuit has its own Twitter as well, and I'll show you that soon. But ASIMOV is definitely one to follow, and the reason for that is that they are trying to provide security around data, the truth when it comes to data, especially when we're going into a world where more and more there is a need to have really high quality and trustworthy data. You're going to need this kind of stuff. So speaking of data, just going over here to this LinkedIn post from Natalie, the CTO of Google Australia. She highlights here that if you've got, crap data, then machine learning, you're going to get crap outcomes. The same thing for AI. If you've got crap data going in, you've got AI on top of that, you get crapper quality kind of insights. You might have a, a colorful one here highlighting that, maybe it is a bit more that it gets to showcase when it comes to generative AI, hence the unicorn there. But at the end of the day, it is still bad results. It's still poop. It's still not great quality type stuff. And with agentic AI, it just expands on this even more. So if you have bad data, then it is a call out that you're not going to get great results just because you multiply that with, massive agent swarms is what they're calling them. It's still going to lead to the same kind of negative results. So, just a really interesting kind of highlight there from Natalie. And it does lead back to why we think that people like ASIMOV and the groups that are doing stuff there, it's interesting to get involved in. You should definitely follow them. There's going to be more news about that sort of stuff coming out real soon. So check that one out. And the next part that we'll do is going through some of the other news items. Okay, so continuing on, I just wanted to highlight some news here. So look at this one. This is a 6-word story. I don't know if you guys have ever heard about those, but they're the type of style where you can convey a whole lot of messaging in literally just 6 words. So here, Sam Altman, founder of OpenAI, CEO, is talking about wanting to write one. Near the singularity, unclear which side. So very ominous type stuff that you can see from this tweet here. Some other people have added their own. I didn't see this one. Your greed personified. There, fixed it. That's a 6-word story. I saw some other ones here. Here we go. Sam is dangerous. Don't trust him. Really interesting. Let's see if anyone shares any more ones. Not 6-word stories there. Singularity arrived. Chatty stayed by humanity, whatever Chatty is. Couple more 6-word stories, I'm sure. Singularity near, or just GPT-5 rumors. Depending on how you want to hyphenate and do things there, then yeah, that's definitely a 6-word story. So yeah, it's what was this one? Yeah, this is the one I was looking for. So someone tweeted, and I've seen it elsewhere, but like you can't do this kind of thing. It's like as if Putin, president of Russia, said something like, might press the button, maybe not. I've seen a variation on that kind of stuff. So worth having a look at. Their really interesting stuff. I think this one here is also OpenAI. So yeah, they secured $6.6 billion in their latest funding round. Oh, that was from late October. I thought that was more recent. So in any case, it is highly valuable. There was some really interesting stuff, not on the page here, but basically where they admitted that $200 US, which is 300 Aussie for those playing at home, was not enough because they're losing money. So Sam admitted that, they came up with the pricing, or I think he came up with the pricing, but people were using it more than they expected. And that's what comes when you've got one of these tools that has a price cap to it. Because if it's got a price cap, just like the $20 a month subscription for OpenAI, for just the normal model that a lot of us others are using, not the one that's 10 times more, but at $20 a month or at $200 a month, if the user is using way more than that, then yes, the company is going to lose money on it. So if you're building AI tools, using AI tokens, using whether it's Claude, whether it's your own tools, and that's great if it is, but then you're paying for server costs, or using one of these third parties like OpenAI or OpenAI through Microsoft, then costs need to be considered. So do you just let people run wild and loose with the main very expensive kind of models, or do you let them have a little bit of GPT-4o mini, which cost cents on the dollar? So yeah, definitely worth looking at there. Some other interesting stuff that we saw during the week was that the Biden administration has an AI diffusion rule to try to protect creations that come out of the US. So what's really interesting there is that it definitely looks, at least from the perspective of NVIDIA, that this is like anti-competition, and they highlight so here. I've seen other takes on this around protection. Being an open source guy myself, I do love the competition, and anything to restrict the community of development is going to be hard. But yeah, definitely worth reading both the statement and NVIDIA's own response to that one as well. Going over to something a little bit more fun over here on Instagram. Let's check this one out. So this is, if you use VLC like I do, which is a great video playback tool that you can run on your computer, they've now added the ability for real-time translations, which is pretty amazing. So let's check out what it's got here.
And we are showing our new innovation about some AI capabilities inside VLC. Here we are doing automatic subtitling based on open source.
Okay, we can see some images here. Let's see. Yeah, that was just the images. So there'll be more in the actual video, but we'll post the link, so definitely check that one out. Something else was that California, we spoke about the SB 1047 or 1047 kind of bill. It looks like it's been held up, which you would think is great, but when you read into it, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is talking about the need for not only to cover the big models, but also to look at the smaller models as well. So it's like, okay, great, it got held up, but no, even smaller models are going to get looked at. And if you remember, legislation here in Australia, it was talking about, so they had consultation, a whole lot of people responded to that from the Department of Innovation, Science and Resources. I think 245 folks responded. 2 of those responses were actually some stuff that I was able to help out with, which was great. One was from Psych, our AI platform, so we did something specifically from there. And then we also helped out the Build Club put together their response after a few roundtables and gathering of different responses from the community. And so, yeah, it was great to get that 245 out. There's been closer, closed group kind of consultations with certain others. And then there was a Senate Select Committee that came out with 13 recommendations. Things like having humans in the loop and making sure that we do look at building out a sovereign type of AI, an Aussie AI. And there's been groups that are trying to build out like an Aussie type GPT trained on our own national kind of data, which is great. However, it was also seen as a little bit restricted because even just the normal type models that you would see ChatGPT, we thought that it would be the things that are high risk that would be looked at. And what we said from the Build Club was that there should be some sort of hub and spoke kind of model where it's agreed upon that, yes, at the highest levels, the law says that if it's high risk, then you need to have guardrails around this. But in terms of what is high risk AI, it's going to differ industry by industry. Now, whether or not certain industries, whatever they do with that, I will close the Temu right there. Whatever industries do with that, then it's up to them as long as they abide by the overall kind of rules there. But now what's being said is that even tools like ChatGPT are going to be considered high risk. So it basically captures everything. So if that is the case, now we know when dealing with blockchain, there's financial kind of rules and regulations, people needing AFSLs and other licenses. If that kind of stuff stifles innovation potentially in the blockchain space and the finance space, what more when it comes to tech? So it's going to be really interesting. But we work in AI, so maybe there will be a nice kind of middle ground where a lot of the stuff that is needed to comply with, you actually have automation running that, ensuring that you're doing things in real time that comply with legislation. And, you know, ReCircuit looking at doing that kind of stuff when it comes to legislation, because in real time, we can actually have what it is that the AI agents are doing recorded onto an immutable blockchain in terms of the rules that they're supposed to comply with, and having agents checking on those rules. Now, what gets recorded onto blockchain? I know that some people may look at that and go, well, we can't record everything because there's privacy. Great, good conversation, because we've got things like zero knowledge proofs, because that means that we can keep certain things confidential. It's not just the pseudonymous kind of problem that blockchains have, but there is a way to have programmability of blockchains, but at the same time, having the confidentiality that we're used to in real world. So yeah, really interesting stuff that is going on here in Australia. It does present potentially some hurdles, but with hurdles come opportunities, and I think that we can have even greater types of regulation then, and just protecting ourselves, the whole reason for that. Now, if we can trust everyone to do the right thing. Unfortunately, we're humans, so we need to see what happens there. But going back to the bill here in California, it does look like it's going to be more restrictive. But like I said, even here in Australia, when it looks like it's going to be more restrictive, there's potentially some ways around that we can work together with and actually make the space a lot safer than before. Anyways, I just wanted to finish off with a couple of things. So ETFtracker launched over Christmas. This is the thing that I was showing people that I was working on and was building thanks to AI. It's even got AI components in there. It's got 450 members. So this was launched on Christmas Eve, advertised a little bit in Facebook groups and on Reddit. And yeah, just had a great kind of market take up, which is really cool. So some things in here, if I go to the AI space, there's AI insights. You've got these different agents here that you can basically talk to and learn from about things like, well, how did ETFs evolve from index funds? And you've got this thing that you can go back and forth with. It is highly focused just on ETFs. So you can build this sort of thing. We've got it for the Aus DeFi space as well, where you've got the meetups and the transcripts from podcasts also being recorded there. A couple of other things that we've got here. So I can do things like charting and analysis. I can do some price analysis as well. So this is the sort of thing that thanks to tools like Bolt, you can build really fast and easily edit and stuff as well. So let's pick a few of these ETFs and just see how their prices are going. Let's go ACDC, which is a great Aussie ETF. You can have a guess as to what that one does. You can see some analytics and stuff there. But yeah, some really interesting things that we get to do with tools like this. And going back to the Aus DeFi page, another thing where AI has played a part was in giving us an ability to do a 2024 recap. So at the end of last year, I wanted to do things like have a bit of reflections. I am the editor of the weekly newsletter that comes out there every Monday. So just things that I was looking at, reflecting on 2024 and the road ahead into 2025. And then we've got here this interactive, basically timeline. So I've got news that was coming out. This is a timeline specifically focused on Australia. It also shows the meetup. So this time last year, we had a national online meetup. We'll be doing that again, either in 2 weeks' time at the end of January or early February. So you can see that. You can click on the different months here and see what happened in February, all the different news and meetups that we've got there. If we jump ahead, there was a busy month in July, and you can see all the news, the meetups galore. There was also a whole lot of stuff in June. So you can click on each of these. It will take you to the article, to the specific thing that was looking at the time there. The videos, you can play those. And you can also filter on things. So if you just wanted to look at the meetups, you can just click and it will only now just show you the meetups all the way down to December when we had our last one at Stone and Chalk at Tech Central. So anyways, folks, a whole lot of stuff going on there. I could go through more, but I'd rather do it live when I'm with Chris and you get to see the whole show. But hopefully this is a nice little filler. Really looking forward to the cool stuff we get to do across the AI and blockchain space. We'll keep you updated with the news, the views, the insights there. And yeah, stay tuned. So it's going to be a really exciting year. The year of the agent, as they say. We will see. Cheers.
Woke up, tech talk, news flash. AI rolling in, future in the dash. Digital dreams, code in sync. We got the vision, never out of sync. Circuit board buzzing, worldwide. Tech trends blazing, digital fire. Innovation leading, minds on play. Tech revolution here to stay.